This is the TM Master Cup Series, here for race number 13 of 19 at the track in Estoril, Portugal. The clutch pole award goes to Franz Redick in car number 65, who won the qualifying race just the other day. Franz Redick also has ran a GRL race here at this track, and he did very well in those races. The German had a great start as you see coming into the first couple of turns, leading Julian Asova and Joseph Howard. Alan Hodges in the 13 car started on the outside pole, slips further back. Zelda Ashby in the 55, making up some ground there early on also. Ashby had a good qualifying run as well. The first caution was on the first lap, just like in the qualifying race. However, unlike the qualifying race, the cause of this accident was too many cars in too small a space. Lewis Kingston, Matt Taylor, Palmer Styles get together and the 44 spins off the course. This is a case of when too many cars occupy too small a space and someone has to give. Matt Taylor was able to continue. Franz Redick, coming to the yellow flag, almost has an off-track excursion of his own. However, he's able to make the next couple of turns better than Julian Asova and is able to keep the lead. Here's the restart from onboard Alan Hodges' number 13 Netflix CM Nova. Franz Redick gave up the lead, giving Julian Asova top spot. Coming in the first turn, Asova slips a bit, Howard gets the run, and Alan Hodges is going to try to get something on the one car, and he's almost got it coming out of the second turn. He's going to have to get her in 3, and he's got it. Car number 31 was driven in Talladega by George Dennis. This week it's driven by Drew Eisenman. Eisenman was driving last year in the TM Master Cup Series. He didn't do terribly well, however he did get one pole. National Racing picked him up and said that they may be interested in giving him this car for 2009. Also in the field was Esme Rousseau, a driver who normally attempts the Cariola Grand Prix and Decatur, and that's it. However, Rousseau decided to run this race and wasn't doing too bad, was running inside the top 20 in a third car for Jeff Sesnick. However, Alexis Rainsford fielded the entry slip for it. Joseph Howard in car number 17 continued to pull away from Julian Asova, 51-year-old driver from Iowa, having a lot of success on these road courses so far. He led Cariola for a while, and many thought he had one of the best cars he's ever had in that race. Howard has won the Cariola Grand Prix once, and he has several other victories on road courses. Needless to say, Joseph Howard's day was like a rose garden. However, Leonid Roderick's was not, and he was having some transmission troubles he reported early on in the race. He had to bring the car in on lap 4. Joseph Howard brought the field in for green flag pit stops. Julian Asova makes up some ground on him. Braking later, and this leaves Cyrus Laterza in the 74 car as the race leader. Laterza's not had much success on road courses throughout his career, and it was quite a surprise when he qualified second in the qualifying race and made it due to some other people's mishaps early on in the race. Tony Durbin was running inside the top 15. That is David Krikorian right in front of him. And I believe that is Ross Peterson's car, and then in front of Peterson is the 31 of Drew Eisenman. Tony Durbin leads the points over Leonid Roderick, but after that, there is about a 50-point gap between Roderick and everybody else. Durbin looked like he'd leave Roderick in the dust after this one. There is a debris caution on lap 17. And Danny Savin's car number 91 started in the front of the field. Savin had been having some problems. His car was a little bit slower, and look at how everyone else gets by him. Joseph Howard, Zelda Ashby, Cyrus Laterza, Mike Whitmore all get by him. However, slow cars tend to create problems. Savin does not give Julian Asova enough room, and Marcus Leonard just charges in there, thinks he can make it work, and it doesn't. Julian Asova and Danny Savin both spin off the course. Having a look at that. Danny Savin, the slow car, just getting in the way at this point. Marcus Leonard could have lifted, but that's not really like Marcus Leonard to give to slow up for a wreck. In fact, Marcus Leonard, arguably, most of his success came from the fact that he charged right through a wreck at Daytona at over 220 miles an hour and made it. Joseph Howard restarted in the lead with Zelda Ashby in the 55 car following him all the way. Ashby did not look like she was making a move on him for the lead. Cyrus Laterza in third, however, was getting a little bit anxious. Howard was having one of the best runs this season. He's not had many good runs so far. You see Mike Whitmore in fourth, and I believe that is Drew Eisenman in the 5th position. It's hard to tell at this distance. 3 wide racing coming down. Marcus Leonard. Whoa, what a pass there. On a track where you're not even supposed to go 2 wide, 2 wide's probably the best you can do. 3 wide, though, a little bit risky. Caution 4 on lap 22. This is going to be trouble for Manny Brown. Ross Peterson takes the turn 2 wide. Manny Brown runs into Peterson, and then Damian Snyder hits the 22 car. Sam Morrell, Cyrus Laterza, and Tony Durbin all get significant damage in this incident. And there would be a lot of people not too happy with Manny Brown. There would also be some people not too happy with Damian Snyder either. There's a little bit of blame to go around for everybody. Dale Roswell and Todd Wodarczyk, Chris Johans, you see there, all pitted just before the restart. Tony Durbin in particular was not too happy with Manny Brown, saying that he shouldn't be swerving around a lot. Riding on board with Tony Durbin right now. This is just what he sees in that wreck. Manny Brown does some significant damage to the 33 car and would give Tony Durbin a DNF. Tony Durbin continues to drive the 33 car around to the pit lane. Joseph Howard led the field on the restart. Zelda Ashby in second. In third, Cyrus Laterza and Mike Whitmore. Those are the top 4 for most of the event. So far, Alan Hodges is running in 5th. Caution 5 on lap 26, just 2 laps after the green. This would get Lewis Kingston a little call to the hauler as he turns Stephanie McGlynn around in the 6th car. McGlynn goes in front of everybody and takes Anthony Evans and Dale Roswell into the sand trap. Anthony Evans looks like he's too far into the sand trap to get himself out, but watch this. Manny Brown also gets a piece of this incident. A little bump from Stephanie McGlynn is enough to get Anthony Evans and the number 10 car fired up and able to get himself out. Lewis Kingston gets into the 6th car. Kingston took the turn perhaps a little too hot, and there goes McGlynn across the track, taking Brown out. Off the track, Dale Roswell and Anthony Evans. See McGlynn's going to get the car in reverse. It's going to be just enough to back into the 10 car and get him refired. And you're going to see Evans' car crawl towards the edge of the sand pit, and there he goes. Anthony Evans is probably going to have some thank you cards to write to the Stephanie McGlynn pit, because otherwise, it's not very likely he would have been able to get out of the sand pit by himself. He would have needed a tow truck. Watch this move in the restart. Zelda Ashby makes a diving move on Joseph Howard in the closing laps of the race to take over the lead and take him completely by surprise. The 55 car has failed to qualify for several events this year and has not run too well. This is the 3rd car for Kingston Enterprises. The 55 team merged with Kingston Enterprises early on in the season. Zelda Ashby looking stronger than ever in her Master Cup Series career. Look at her pulling away from Joseph Howard. Ashby, a rookie, coming around, and there she will go on to take her first TM Master Cup Series victory in Estoril. A brilliant performance from a driver who is significantly underrated as far as her ability on these road courses is concerned. Ashby celebrated appropriately with victory burnouts. Behind Ashby was Joseph Howard, and then Mike Whitmore, who won at Brands Hatch, despite Whitmore saying at the beginning of the season that he was one of the worst road course drivers he knew. Alan Hodges, Whitmore's car owner, in 4th, Cyrus Laterza in 5th, and then Marcus Leonard, excellent performance from that team, in 6th, John Broughton in 7th, Drew Eisenman. David Krikorian in 2 starts. He has 2 top 10 finishes, however he didn't qualify for Talladega. And then Ross Peterson in car number 47 finishes in 10th. And here are the top 10 of the point standings. Leonid Roderick has 18 markers over Tony Durbin. Alexis Rainsford still in 3rd despite being penalized 25 points after Talladega for impeding other drivers. Johnny Ada in 4th, Lewis Kingston in 5th. I wouldn't expect a points penalty. I'd expect maybe a warning for Kingston running into McGlynn. Ryan Araki, Mike Whitmore having a very solid rookie season. Juliana Sova, Gary Edwards, and then Alan Hodges sneaks up into the top 10. In 2007, had Alan Hodges qualified for the 2 races he missed, he would have won the championship. And here's 11 through 20. 11th place, car number 11, Damian Snyder at 100 points behind the leader. Palmer Stiles, Ross Peterson, Kurt Walker's been on a downward spiral lately. He's lost the rookie points lead to Mike Whitmore. Anthony Evans in 15th, very solid season for him so far. Todd Wodarczyk, Joel Rodriguez, not up to the standards of last season. Lauren Roth, Scott Stoidler, looking very good in his sophomore year. And then Joseph Howard passes Manny Brown and to be the highest ranked McAllister car in the point standings. That's all for this week in the TM Master Cup Series. I'll see you next time.